Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on this Friday. Sorry, I have to keep losing eye contact on occasion with you folks. It's because I need to check all the instruments are okay, that my mic is okay. So, happy Good Friday. As you know, you're in for a big surprise as to what a Good Friday really means. I have done something similar to this time last year, but this year I've put together something a little bit more special where it'll involve psychology as well and the power, albeit your ability to control your own contracts or agreements with anything on this planet is actually yours. That is what the Good Friday means, as in the Good Friday Agreement. So let's go one step at a time, shall we? The Good Friday, Christ coming back from the dead, as it were, in 72 hours, that's in law. That's called the Rescissions Act. Okay, and I'll show you all of those things. So let's go straight on to the presentation. So as you can see here, I've gone to LexisNexis, which has just come on back online in the UK. Before it was hidden, but it's here now. Now, let me make some statements with you. I want to feel, informal as well as formal as much as I can. I want to be precise and concise at the same time and give you some elaborative work here. Not Shakespearean, but elaborative. Because of this, I need your full attention. I'm about to blow the whistle on so many different things here, as I have been doing year on year with so many subjects and topics that hold mankind in servitude. First of all, do you remember when I did the talk on what human is? Yeah, that it's only a corporation. Now, just think about this, okay? And I really do need you to think about this. If you've got degrees and doctrines in humanitarians and humanitarian rights and so on and so forth, and you are totally and utterly convinced that human rights, humanitarian needs and aids is what is the future, if you are totally and utterly convinced, then what you're basically saying, no, not basically, let me withdraw that. What you are saying is that a corporation, because that is what human means, it's a corporation as in McDonald's, has rights over man. This is the vile and disgusting hypnosis that they practice on you. Now think of this word human or humanitarian as nothing more than a computer program. A computer program. And if you put this computer program called humanitarian, because you can see what humans actually do, they are monstrous in their very nature. And if you was to put that program called human with all of its human conduct, which you witness every single day through politicians, royal families, and etc., courts, governments, corporation parking tickets, all of them, what is it that you're witnessing? Well, that is the grand total of what we call human, the right to cannibalize on other corporations and other human beings. That's what it means. You take that program, which you now have full manifestative powers over, and you put that program into a robot, which is essentially a computer that's got nuts and bolts that maneuver around like a car. Okay, it's a dynamic computer run on the back of a program. How will that robot behave and conduct itself in everyday life? it will conduct as a threat to mankind. You understand this? Because people have given up their position as people, as men and women, and taken up the position of human. Robots are human. The fourth generation vehicles and computing powers that you have out there are also human. That's what human rights mean. It means corporate rights. You understand what I have said to you. Now, if you take the program of that which is man or woman, that is to say, in its volition of the thinking, to be correct, honorable, life-giving, give aid, show wealth, look after its family, and all the list of things that you can go through which are beneficial, and you take that program and you put it into that robot, how will it conduct itself? It will conduct itself in a beneficial manner. So what I'm saying to you, if you keep going and using these words that you have nothing to do with, that confuse and only give up your power to a corporation, you will keep digging yourself a hole. That is why I banned human, and that is why I banned human rights. And they came up and said individual rights. But the individual rights are for corporations. They are not the product, and nor are they for the consumption of men and women. A lot of negative no's there. But this is the world that you live in, because without your ability to say no to a particular contract, you're about to walk away from what's known as the Good Friday. Your ability to turn down any contract on this planet, including marriage, if you wanted to. But if the marriage is working for your benefit as well as the benefit of the people around you, why do you want to give it up? You only want to purge yourself of contracts that are foul in your world. Full stop. Now, this information that I have given you, as iconoclastic as it is, puts you in a powerful position as to what a human is, what is man is, what is individual is. And now we're going to go into the domain, your ability to turn down anything that is not beneficial to you. And that's part of a rescissions act. You understand? A rescissions act. But it's not an act by a foul actor or a bad actor. It's your ability to turn down any contract that you want, including death pledges, sheriff's tickets, parking tickets, and so on and so forth. Now, and remember, you've got to have the skills to do this, because most of yous have been just walking and talking around as if you are humans, and humans do not have the faculty nor the mental processes to be men and women. That's why they are idiotic and go to the UN for every single thing that they need, when it is the UN that you can dictate to. Hence, my tricks and traps students are legislative. Full stop. Now, the thing that you're looking at here, and I want to explain this to you as much as I can. Your ability to terminate a contract is all powerful. I just simply asked a question, okay? And it came up with this. Look at this, what it's saying to you. Okay, let's go through it one by one. Now, you see, sometimes let me be informal with you. I get frustrated on account of that. I don't think I'm verbalizing. I'm not full of doubt and things like that. I'm the Chief Federal Postal Court Judge. I don't believe that I am actually expressing the full weight and the length and breadth of what I'm revealing to you. I honestly do not believe I'm explaining it in such a way as to say that it is you that determines how governments are conduct themselves. Yep. So for you newcomers, it might be tricky because you still think human, you still think individual. You are all walking and talking as if you are corporations that constantly want to steal from each other, cannibalize on each other. Yeah, because that program, that hardware as yet to be hardwired inside of you. Okay, they've hacked so much of this hardwiring that it's the corporations with their human rights and individual rights, which are all corporate, is starting to penetrate your hardwiring. And that I cannot allow to happen. I have the ability to banish all of these things, but the world has to come to me. And hence, when I had foresight to know that I have to explain what human is, I did so. But your ability to perform a rescissions act on anything that is in your life, look at the list of it through misrepresentation. So if they didn't tell you a mortgage is a death pledge, well, that's misrepresentation. You understand this? Of course you do. The remedy of rescissions is misrepresentation claims. So if you have a claim and you can show that you would not actually sign a mortgage if you knew it was a death pledge, that's yours. That power is yours. The skills to go with it is that you need to think like men and women. And my challenge is I'm quite often outside of the 95,000 or 96,000 subscribers when I'm speaking to the outside world, with outside of that subscription list, as it were. I feel disabled because I'm communicating as man and woman would do with the rules of congruence to humans. A corporation, a corporation which is human can't think like a man. That's why it's so important for these foul-minded bankers to get you to keep on accepting and pick up the vocabulary, the language and the program, the contracts, which are all corporate instruments. How disgusting is it to give somebody human rights only to find you're giving them the same rights that a corporation has, which is it has no rights whatsoever, except in level playing field with another corporation. But because your entire program and language is made out of corporate instrument, you even call your wife a partner. They even got you to say that your wife or your husband is your partner. Once they've done that, you've now gone into corporate instrument. It's called a verbal contract. Bars to rescission, affirmation. They can give up their bar association at this stage, because the bar association essentially cripples people. And if you've got cases, you can also give it up back to them because it was generated through personage and baratry. Personage is to pick up and create false names for yourself, and battery is making false claims in court about you. Affirmation. Rules against partial rescission. So you can now even dictate your terms and conditions, renew your terms and conditions. Bars to rescission, impossibilities of restoration, impossibilities of reconstitution. Look at the powerful words. Yes, I know they're all powers and poison p-freaks, but it's what they're basically saying is that you can turn down even impossibilities and reconstituting with them. These are powerful words, and Lexis and Nexus is what the judges use, and it's updated like every 10-15 minutes. I don't know if it's up and running in the US again. Please do some searches. It's a powerful tool. Where third parties have acquired rights, it's also where debt collecting agencies, banks, can try to recontract with you as a corporate instrument. You understand what I'm saying? It goes both ways. Discretion, where equitable to award damages in liens of rescission. Lien is a contract. That's why they keep telling you believe in aliens and aliens. Because what is an alien? Actually, they've spelt this slightly different. So let's have a look up what that word means. Instead, The company issued additional shares to shareholders. Oh, okay. So I misread that. Where companies have misissued shares to devalue your current shares, including the Federal Reserve Bank, because those dollar notes are essentially shares. They are your shares in a Federal Reserve Bank, which they'll keep on reprinting and reprinting until the value of those pound dollar notes, which are shares, devalue so much that you can't buy anything with it that is of any value, let alone pay off your rent and etc. Misrepresentation Act, 1967. They even give you the laws. When is delay or bar to rescissions as a remedy for misrepresentation? They're talking about the Bar Association in central London, which essentially runs the courtrooms all around the planet. Okay, they're trained by the Bar Association. Can you contractually restrict the rights to rescind as a remedy for misrepresentation? It's actually offering you the contract. It's offering you the contract to say, contractually restrict the rights to rescind. Okay? Now, rescind is not part of my vocabulary, but let's always qualify it. What does it mean? Present tense, to revoke or to cancel. Limitations, issues when receding. Practical consideration when receding where there has been misrepresentation. Under the 2001 Fraud Act, the whole goddamn thing is a fraud. Under the 2006 incorporation in this country, the whole thing is fraud. You know, if you have claimed to be an Englishman, then you have the ability to make your way through life in any manner that you wish, as long as you don't harm people. Harm people, and then you yourself will get harmed. Look, in one stroke, as I do not look, I make no preparations in my speeches. I have something to say, and I say it the best I can. When I have like 2-3 days to think about something, then the presentation is usually a lot more flowing than it is now. Okay? If I have not explained it to you, let me explain it to you. Your ability to refuse any contract on this planet, any agreement, is now. You understand this? How powerful is this? You know, when they put you in a prison cell or a holding cell, and if you don't give your name and your address, they let you go in 72 hours, which is the 3-day Rescissions Act. If you've done something very bad, like murder and things, you ain't got a hope in hell. And the judiciary can contact me, and I'll be happy to put them in prison for 7 years, long as the evidence support it. I also deal with the language itself. You know, as a Chief Federal Postal Court judge, my jurisdiction is on the language. And as the holder of the copyright of the St. George's Cross, anything that is in the foul volition, that is outside of that flag, to be less than a man, I have jurisdiction. Okay? So that's quite powerful stuff, isn't it? What if a whole university was to do a course or a degree course on this and teach it from kindergarten? You will have very powerful men and women that can shut down any bank that they want with a stroke of a pen, which I have the ability to do, but the world has to come to me. Okay? And remember, I also need to have something to replace any of those things. How powerful is this? I mean, is it cartoon world I'm speaking to? How powerful is this? That's 3 times I've asked you. That's the reason why I'm asking you 3 times. Now, All those people with degrees, diplomas, A-levels in humanitarian, they've been programmed by the bankers to behave, talk, conduct themselves like a Kentucky Fried Chicken Corporation or the Federal Reserve Bank. They have to work day and night to prove that this man, let's call this man, okay? No, let's say this is a man, that this man, that they have 100% evidence, talks, walks, signifies, it's what they call signature as opposed to an autograph, watches, and has got degrees in corporation. In so much so that this man, software and hardware has been successfully hijacked to behave on the street, in the home, on letter, identical to a corporate instrument, thereby proving that men and women are corporate. Now that I've told you that, do you really want to call your wife a partner? What's the answer? What's a husband? A husband is animal husbandry. It's a farming term. Now that you know that, does a husband ever want to be called a husband? These words were given to you by foul-minded bankers. Flush it down the toilet. In maritime, it's called a mate. In nature, it's also called a mate. Never a partner, because that's corporate language. You know the wildlife programs that the BBC make and so many, they're lying to you. They're lying about the language. They're lying to you about evolution. They're lying to you about survival rather than thriving. They're lying to you about so many different things to walk and talk you into behaving like a corporation, because one corporation can hack another corporation, murder it, enslave it, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you look up the word what killing means. It means to cull. Like if there's too many squirrels in your back garden, you take a slingshot at it and you kill the squirrels. They call that killing rather than murdering. Too much on that, okay? So let's move on to the next. I've now successfully shown you 100% how powerful this knowledge is that I'm giving you. You have the ability to shut down an entire government if you wanted to. How powerful is that? Now you've got to ask yourself, now the corporations, you know, like Washington, D.C., all the governments, McDonald's, all the pharmaceutical industry, all of them know this. Now you've got to ask is, what lengths will they go to stop you from accessing the Rescissions Act, or what Jesus or what Christ did? I think I'll turn down this death business and resurrect myself in 3 days later. You know, you have the ability to change your mind even though the coroner may say that you have passed away. The word coroner, you know what it means. It's the same word for coronation. It's the same word for corona. What lengths would they go to? Well, some of the things that they might do is come up with things like this, like the Passion. Yeah, when Jesus, or the Christ, gets tortured, his flesh pulled away from his body with hooks that tear into him. You know, where you've got rabbis spitting at another fellow rabbi. He's a rabbi. No rabbi will never spit at another rabbi. I promise you that. That only takes place in disgusting fiction. Oh, by the way, I'm not showing you the screen. I beg your pardon. This is the extent that they will go to. This is the Passion, Good Friday. It's on that 3 days. See, if they get you to believe, if the banks get you to believe, the corporations and these foul-minded freaks, never to touch the Three Rescissions Act, they will try to traumatize you to say, if you ever turn down, this are the things that will happen to you. The Roman Empire will come after you. Okay? And they will torture your flesh and so on and so forth. I can't show more than a few seconds at a time, so you've got to know that, okay? They put these images in mind as if to say that if you ever did what Christ did, then this is what you will have to suffer. Who the hell wants to suffer these things? The job of Hollywood, one of the jobs of the Hollywood, is to convince you this is how much redemption is going to cost you. They're lying to you. They are lying to you. They will go at it day and night to say how they're going to hammer that nail into you, into your flesh until you feel nothing, until you are dead, and they will get a spear and stick it onto your side to stop you from breathing, or smash your legs to give you a quickening of the death. They're lying and traumatizing you. Just like if you had 13 members to agree upon something, you have a council. So they say Friday the 13th. And they make hundreds of movies and write hundreds of books so you don't ever form into a council. They would go far as to even build hotels that has the 13th floor missing. This is how powerful my knowledge is. And this is how powerful the laws that are already in existence. They are so powerful. The corporations will spend trillions of dollars to make sure that you don't ever understand what the Rescissions Act is. That's what it means, ladies and gentlemen. Your ability to cancel any contract that you want or create your own terms and conditions. This is another programming that they give you. Like, why would you even think about the 72-hour rule? Why? You wouldn't think about it because you've already been traumatized since childhood, that if you did, you'll end up looking ugly like these three Stygian witches, which is symbolic representation of the 3-day Rescissions Act, 72 hours. You are born traumatized, not ever touching these things. I mean, who the hell wants to end up like these witches? Since childhood, they've been traumatizing you. Yeah, look at the images, all fair market usage. Look at these images. They're bloody frightening, man. They even frighten me. Who the hell wants to turn down those contracts like mortgages and stuff if this is what you're going to end up in? You know who these three ladies are? These are the three brides of Dracula. That's the three Stygian witches in a different form. You've seen it thousands of times in soap operas, in comedies, in mythological dramas like this, Dracula, and so on and so forth. Now that you know just by 2 pieces of evidence that you are being deliberately lied to and traumatized, so you don't ever touch upon the 3-day Rescissions Act. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm giving you power and I'm giving you knowledge. Who the hell wants to end up 3 women that will suck the life out of you? As sexy as they are, who the hell wants to end up with 3 women that will suck the life out of you? You remember this movie? Where Art Thou? Oh brother, where art thou? With George Clooney. Those are the 3 Stygian witches that they come across, these 3 men, when the 3 women are there washing their clothes and having a wash, as it were. And they sing to them. That's another word for a siren. A siren is the same siren that you see in World War II, World War I. As the people are witnessing in the Ukraine at this moment. The Ukraine people, if they came to me, they can stop that war at a stroke of a pen. But they need to come to me. I can communicate that to the people there, the so-called governments, and bring it to an end. But I ain't, look, you need to come to me to do that. Okay? You need to come to me. I am not going to do it just because I can. I am not your savior. Yeah? I am not your Jesus. Three Stygian witches. And the ladies sing to George Clooney and his two brothers, and they fall asleep. And when they fall asleep, there is only a pile of clothes that they were wearing left behind. That's the power, ladies and gentlemen, of this. Now you know, even in modern day comedy, with George Clooney in it, that to touch upon the three Stygian witches, your ability to refuse a contract is something that you need to run away from. So whenever you have the opportunity, your subconscious mind puts you in a position to fly away, what they call flight or fight. And of course, freeze in the presence of these three Stygian witches. So when you are presented with the ability to turn down any contract, some people just simply freeze for 3 days, and they've kept their mouths quiet and their pen hand quiet, and walk themselves into the trap again. For the people that want to fight it, all they're doing is just throwing stones at something that they can just pick up a pen and get rid of it, what they call fighting syndrome. And some people are so traumatized, they run away from it. Yeah, what they call flight. Freezing, fight, and flight. Okay? That's how deep the programming is. I actually knew two people that actually ran away from their baby within that 3-day period because they were so traumatized. They thought they were so strong, but they weren't. They were weak. You understand what I'm saying? This is not the stuff. This stuff is for men and women. That my teachings are for men and women. They are not for humans. They are not for psychopaths and narcissists and all of these people that will foul these practices, these things that have been in existence since time memorial. At least time memorial that I can think of. This is another representation of the three Stygian witches, although be it, it's only one I'm showing here. Okay? These are sirens that will drive men mad, and they will crash into the shores of where they live. That's just basically saying on that particular day of Good Friday, they can go up to the captain and say, hey, captain, I don't think I really want to stay on this boat anymore. Can you drop me off at that paradise island? And the captain has no. The captain will do exactly that. If you are in Britain, which is in maritime, the captain of which I know, they will do that. And I have the knowledge to do that as well, obviously. These are very powerful things. But if sailors believe that they don't have the ability to turn down their contract as a mister, which is a subordinate upon a ship, or a miss, which is exactly the same thing, they get stuck on the maritime boat called British Isles. Yeah. The rules of three, ladies and gentlemen, read up on it. The rule of three is writing principle that suggests a trio of events or characters as more humorous, satisfying, or effective. Even in comedy, they use this. 3 strikes and you're out. 3 laughters, contract is made. 3 yeses, contract is made. 3 chances given, you now go to prison or you're off the football pitch. 3 strikes and you're out. Let me do something for you. Kobo and the 2 strings. You remember this, ladies and gentlemen? this movie. I'm not going to play it for you because it'll be copyright infringement and I don't want to breach it because that's not correct. But if I said fair market usage, can you respect this, Universal Pictures? Can you respect it that I'm using this as fair market usage? I would really like my audience, my subscribers as the world at large, as a Planet Potentiary Judge, to be educated on this. This is Kobo and the Two Strings. The theme song of this was written by the Beatles, albeit George Harrison. A beautiful movie. And it's got the three Stygian witches in there. But he's missing a string on his three bows, on his three-string instrument, whatever that is, a Japanese banjo or guitar. It's a beautiful song, it's a beautiful movie. Educating you, you have the ability to turn down the shadow world, and it represents itself here as his father, as his grandfather, that wants to pluck out his eye, so he may become blind to the world. You remember the three Stygian witches? They share one eye amongst all three sisters, and they share one tooth among all other sisters. They think alike, they taste alike, they bite alike, and they see one thing. They are in complete agreement, and they have the wisdom to be able to accept a contract or to rescind it. That's the power of the three Stygian witches, what I'm educating you on. This education is priceless. So download it and share it with the rest of the world. I wish I could play this. Let me play a few seconds. Please, Universal Studios. I desire it. The song is not there, but that's the trailer. Let's see what happens. I better not. Let me think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a few seconds. Let me get the song for you. You know, I want to be able to give much as I can to you. Regina, by the way, you know, the level of hypnosis is quite extraordinary. Regina is one of Elizabeth's names. Quite often you will see court documents that will say Regina versus, you know, like John Smith or something. This is essentially assigned by Elizabeth II to give you the opportunity on a subconscious level to turn down her contract for subjection, because the word subjection means it's a slave. That's why she says that you're a subject of the British Empire. Yeah, I have to play this, unfortunately. I know movies. I know movies very well, ladies and gentlemen, and I am able to read exactly what George Harrison has to say here, as well as the movie itself. I know how it affects your neural network, what it does to your so-called subconscious and unconscious mind, what it does to your conscious mind. I'm aware enough of it to be able to unprogram any man or woman that may think that they are human, but they have to come to me. Okay, it's like an offer of a contract. You either turn it down or you accept it. If you accept it, there has to be an exchange of value, and then we both perform. Otherwise, there's no contract. You get it? Hopefully you do. If you go to my website, yeah, you will understand why is it that these people have live birth certificates of live birth. You see, it says there. Let me see if I can blow it up. These are all genuine documents, by the way. Do you see that? Certificate of live birth. Once you understand these things, your power to be able to create a live life claim for yourself, which you can get from my website, tricks and traps, you're dictating your terms and conditions. You can just paint your way through whatever you want, as long as you keep reverting back to degrees and those god-awful scholastic masturbators that sold you programs, university degrees after about humanitarian this, humanitarian aid, all that means is that every penny you give, every $1 billion or a penny you give to a charity, it's got human aid on it. It goes to a corporation. It is companies like McDonald's, Washington, D.C. They're the ones that benefit. Even the Red Cross, if it says it's for humanitarian aid, it just simply means they're going to take it for a corporation. What I have told you is so powerful, you can stop that from happening with the Red Cross or any charities that you wish. But you have to come to me and I can make that happen. I can make the Red Cross work for men and women and not for corporations. You know the £1 billion that you might raise in cancer research or for Africa or starving children, whatever it is, as soon as they put the word humanitarian aid, it means that it's going to go to a corporation. The very corporation that actually put mankind in that position of starvation, of want, and destruction. I can bring all that to an end just by the logic of what I have said. And my logic is 2 times 2 equals 4. Everything I've said is self-qualified and qualified by you. Yeah, that's why I have no interest in opinions. Look, I wrote this book many, many years ago. It's still on Amazon and I have not visited it. Yeah, but it's still there. Yeah, that's my name there. I thought I'd share that with you. Please don't go and buy it. You don't buy it because I don't get any money for it. The bureaucratic process to be able to get the money off of these people was bloody so much that I just don't even bother. Yeah, so don't go and buy it or anything like that. Just email me or something like that. Okay? I'm just letting you know before you contact me, understand who I am and what I am. Okay? Study my website. Otherwise, I can't entertain your email. That's my terms and conditions. 3 strikes and you're out. If you knew you have the ability to write to somebody 3 times, and if they fail to answer back, that you have the ability to strike that entire company, the CEO, whatever it is, how powerful is that? If a football player fouls the game 3 times, he don't come back on the football pitch. You commit petty crime, bank robbery, or any other crime, 3 strikes, and they're going to take you out. Yeah, because enough is enough. It's called part of zero tolerance. Yeah, we're not going to accept any barbaric deeds and barbaric behavior in our world. I wish you understood. I wish that I have explained to you the power of what I'm saying to you in terms of the Red Cross cannot do what it does. It's playing foul, disgusting games. And listen, you 2 brothers in England. What's their names? One of them used to be the head of the Red Cross. That oversaw Baby P. Give me a few seconds. Or more. The Miliband brothers. Miliband. You can expect a visitation from me. Yeah. you will be accepting it and accept a prison sentence, what they call penance. I'm going to put you in prison. Yeah, don't think that you can get away with this. Yeah, you will not be able to. Look, today is supposed to be kind of a religious day. Religion means no people. RE means no, legion means people. It means no people. Everybody talks about the King James Bible, and it has a copyright. Okay, it's called Letters of Patent, and it's owned by the Crown. In other words, they were the authors. The Crown is you. It's you, the people, that has a custodial position. And beg your pardon, the City of London, the figurehead of the Queen, has your crown. She gave it up like many years ago. It's just that you humans don't have the ability to think like men and women. What I would say is reboot. You've got 3 days to reboot your thinking on the back of what I said and start thinking and talking like men and women with love and understanding and courtesy. And anybody that would treat you with less, treat them with absolute zero tolerance. Put them in their place. Click of a finger like that. Men and women do not tolerate evildoers. To do so is to be human. I think I've made it very clear. If you think that somehow this is a religious holiday and has something to do with Jesus and all that, no. That Jesus just simply means I, mischief maker. Jehovah means I, the mischief maker. It's just a bank holiday. It's a banking holiday. The post office is a bank, and the post office controls all banks on this planet. When the post office closes, all banks close. They just give you ideologies, symbolisms like this. So you don't ever access your power, as it were. The 3 Stygian witches are here as well, and it makes it very clear who they are. They have wisdom beyond their times, as it were. Sorry, that's a silly statement. They have wisdom and they have knowledge. Your ability to accept a contract is your ability to discriminate what a contract is and what is not. How many people on this planet have got mortgages and death pledges? How the hell can you have a death pledge? It's an oxymoron unless you are proven to them that you are dead. My words have more of a profound statement than you can imagine. Follow it to its logical conclusion, and you will see it for what it is. But you have to follow it to its logical conclusion, like the chess moves on a chessboard, until the game is either won by you or it's lost by you. When I lose a game, I go at it and I go at it and I go at it. I may go at it 500-600 times until I have been educated enough by my opponent as to how to play the game. That's called staying power. That's why my judges will stay on something for years until they master it. Humans want everything that I do like in 2 days. Like now. And by the way, you pay for it. In other words, I should meet the expense. Human behavior, humans. Do you know, sometimes I get emails, let me be personal with you, I get emails saying, hey Mark, you should do these things for free. So I send them an email back. I say to them, well, tell me how many times you've done something for free for people. The answer is always no. Those people that pay their way, you ask them that question and say, here Mark, here's a list of people that I've helped for nothing. And here's a list of people that I helped for nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Those people, don't contact me. Just go away. Okay? It's like, it takes about a year to finish a project. For me to explain these things is like 12, 13 years of my personal experience and more. delivered for you for free. I do this for you for free. This is my social contract with the world as a plenipotentiary judge, which every government on this planet respects and honors. Yeah, they have wisdom, knowledge. Your ability to accept or refuse a contract means that you must have the ability, like those three wise monkeys that sit on my shelf, see no evil, do no evil, think no evil. All negative, negative, negative. But unfortunately, people are so programmed in negativity. I have to communicate with you in negativity to cancel it out. Whereas if I was to teach, I would like to teach in positivity. The positiveness just simply cancels everything out in the negative, because you're doing a positive performance. It's like, I want to say, have a shed built, okay? And I tell them what I want, they get on with it. They don't worry about all the other things I don't want, because they have clear instructions as to what they want, what I need, and how to go about doing it is what their skill is. That's why they are constructive contracts as opposed to destructive contracts like mortgages, death pledges, loans, false statements, misrepresentation, and all this kind of no that keeps you in a state of humanitarian degrees. How many masturbative professors out there talk about Jung as if they knew about Jung? Jung's job was to sell you the idea that you're a persona, which is also a corporate instrument. The universities, ladies and gentlemen, are pumping out bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. So you may walk and talk like bullshit. Pardon the language, but I think I've explained myself very direct. Watch the movie, Kobo and the Three Strings. Now that I've done this, Kobo and the Two Strings, because he's missing a string. Once he gets it, his power to refuse the shadow world is all of his. He can even go into the shadow world and perform a rescue or a salvation, which is one of the capacities that I have ability to do as the 13th of the 13th month. Okay. Let me see if I've missed anything. So I want to make it very clear. Those people, religious buffoons out there that think that this is Jesus's day, sorry, it's a post office's day off. It's called a bank holiday. All right? Even Christ is a banker. If you're not a banker, how will you control your bank, your currency? If you have $1 million or £1, how are you going to control that if you don't have a bank? Bank is what controls currency, as in a river bank. River bank. Yeah? So if you want to contact me, go and visit my website. Mortgage eliminations and things like that, paying your taxes in the correct language, correct name, and etc. You make sure you go and visit my website and you read what there, so we are not caught out by trying to educate you and just sending you out another email saying, look, all the information that you need is there. By the way, 80% of the time, you don't even need to contact me if you study my website, because there are so many documents there on for free. There are people that email saying, Mark, thanks, I just wrote off like $180,000 or whatever it is on the back of something that's free on my website. Okay? For humans, I don't have anything for you. For men and women, the world is yours, the corona is yours. Okay? I hope that I have successfully communicated with you what it is, and that I've done a good job as a plenipotentiary judge. As a plenipotentiary judge, I tend to have a tendency to mispronounce words. This is because I get so excited my words don't come out fast enough. I want to be able to speak faster and faster and faster and faster, like a scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when they're going down that tunnel. faster and faster and faster. I find uh, linear language very time consuming and non-intuitive in many senses. Thank God for David Wayne Miller, or I should say thank the creator for David Wayne Miller to providing us with a mathematical language. Yeah, David Wynne Miller, the whole world knows who you are, and certainly I have benefited from you in ways that I don't have words for. And mankind, what you have done is just quite extraordinary. Yeah. So David, thank you very much. And all of you 96, I think, thousand subscribers now. Thank you very much. All my Tricks and Traps students, thank you very much. All my judges, my staff, the secretaries, thank you very much. And all the men and women that have downloaded and uploaded my channel, thank you very much. I have 1,001 things to thank people for. Okay? And for those ones that, you know, gifted me with this, a special thank you. And if I have inadvertently through my, shall we say, and I'm smiling, through my anger, sometimes, you know, I'm a bit strong with you guys, is because I feel that I can't get things done fast enough. And I feel that the world should be able to change at a click of a finger, and you have that capacity. If I haven't said it again, let me say it 3 times, okay? Thank you, and thank you. Have a good holiday, folks. Take 3 days, study my website, reflect on what I'm saying. You should, and it's a judgmental word, be able to shut down every single university that is performing these vile operations against you. If the Ukrainian people wish to contact me, I can shut that down. Okay? By the way, there is no conflict that we know of. That's just Putin leveled the playing field. Leveled the playing field. Yeah, so people are not disabled. So, yeah, I think that'll be enough. Have a fantastic time. Thank you.